Okay, there we go. Am I on? Testing, testing. One, two, three. Alrighty. I'm actually on time this time, and someone suggest or some. No, it was. I guess it was Grok. Anyways, the AI suggested that as far as getting more people to come into the streams, that maybe I should pose an announcement, before going live. Like it mentioned about 2 hours before. I couldn't really do that because I had stuff to do this morning, and so um, but I and then because I ended late, I'm starting here at 12 instead of 11:30. But I came in here at 11:30. What normally I would come in here at 11, get ready. But what I decided to do is I decided to pre-announce going live because the link tree is link isn't going to change. It's just to my live stream pages, and I figured, you know what, I'll say 15 minutes from now, and then I got everything done. Then I got everything set up, and I'm actually on time this time, which is kind of, I mean, I realize it's not on time as far as being 11:30 versus 12, but as far as the way I do it, if I pre-announce that I'm going to be on in later, and it doesn't really matter how much time it is. I can get ready, and then I can be ready at right as soon as um, right as soon as this pops up, right? So yeah, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. It's only 3 hours today, of course, but that's just some life stuff, right? It isn't it isn't due to me being like lazy or something. My dad had to do something. I made dinner. I had to make sure that it was warm longer, and there's some other stuff we had to do. And anyways, that's why I'm actually late. So this is not me like being lazy. This is just you know I had to postpone on purpose. Anywho, um, so yesterday, here, let's go back over here. So yesterday, this is not the original configuration that you see here, uh, because so okay, so what I was doing yesterday was I was okay, I'm gonna have to and make sure I save the metadata to do this. Um, so I was making door member a member of. Oh hey Crasher, I'm just getting started basically. So you actually come right at the right time, like just when I just started basically. So I'm explaining what I did yesterday, and yesterday basically I was taking the script files and here, let's go into Visual Door. If you notice here that these are this text here is this code is commented out because these are duplicated members of the door class. So I made door a member. I call it settings. Um, I could have called it config. Grok. I think was it Grok or Chat GPT. Anyways, one of the AI suggested I use config, and but I kind of like settings more because it's more explicit because it's the door settings. Um, anywho, so what I started to do is I commented out the choice member, and then I was looking around and I was noticing that it wasn't complaining at all. So and then I realized I either have to do a couple of things. I'd either have to reload the page or actually do a data save. And I did the data save, and it like wiped out you know like 10 of my rooms or something like that. And all because of how I um it's all because of how I do it. Let's see. I have a thing where it like removes everything, and then it recreates it. So when it was airing out, it couldn't recreate these room files, and so I had to manually reconfigure a few of these, and like it was kind of a mess. But now I'm kind of back up to normal. I just realized I don't know what to call you. You can call me Crasher, but of good doesn't sound good. If you have any nickname, um, yeah, my game's going pretty good. You can call me Uff Good Uff. And the nickname is actually um you can call me Keith. My real name is Keith, but the the name I chose is a little obscure. Basically, if you've ever seen the movie Willow from Lucasfilm, from George Lucas, producer George Lucas, director Ron Howard, from around 1988, I think it was released. Uh, the main character's name is Willow Ufgood, and I didn't know how to spell it, so when I first spelled it, I spelled it with a silent H because I don't know, some stupid thing I had in my head, thinking that there should be a silent H in there for some weird reason. It's just Ufgood is how it's actually spelled, but I was thinking there was a silent H in there, and I was wrong. But it kind of helps it keep it separate. There's almost nobody that has the same nickname or screen name or handle as Ufgood. At least not with my spelling. And most cases they don't use Ufgood anyways, but it makes it even more obscure. So that means nobody copies the name basically. So you can call me Ufgood. You can call me Keith. Um, I don't know. Hey, you guy. Hey, dude. Whatever. Hey, bro. Like you use bro sometimes. That's fine. Whatever. Keith. Keith. It. I guess it rhymes with Heath. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. But here I'll type it out. It's pronounced like Heath, but with a K for hard C sound, as in cuss or curse. Okay, you can actually tell the K part, um, but you can still call me Upgood. It sounds almost like it looks, you know, Uff, Uff rhymes with tough and good. So, Uff, good. But that's fine. Anyways, like I typed in there, I just typed it in there so you can see it visually because um, if I remember right, you're in India, and so I'm sure a lot of people from India speak English, and most of them. I don't know how much of you guys speak English, but since you guys are kind of big on schools and stuff, or you know, like being educated or whatever, um, I think a lot of you actually know English, and of course you know English, Crasher, well enough. So there hasn't been any communication problems that I could tell. Anyways, um, okay. So yeah, you don't have to worry that much about what to call me, unless if it's just like a thing in your head. Like sometimes when you're looking at someone and um, you just think you pronounce it in your head a certain way, and you're like, how do I pronounce this? I don't even know, you know, kind of thing. Whatever. Anyways, it's not a big deal, you know. Whatever's cool. Anyways, let me get back to the thing here. So okay, so yesterday, um, anyways, I commented this out, and then I saved it, and then I saved the actual I used my save button from the plugin, and it basically removed like 10 or 15 doors, whatever doors I was using up to. I forget how many doors are actually in here, but they were just like all gone, and that's just mainly because there was an error that it couldn't recreate the it would go and delete somehow it would remove the certain deals and then wouldn't recreate them or something. I forget. It has something to do with how I do the save stuff. I know it's weird. I should actually. Right? Yeah. Well, obviously whatever your language is, that you'll use primarily in your country. But I noticed that a lot of people from India understand or speak English, so that's cool. Anywho, so yeah, so I kind of screwed that up, and then I had to essentially recreate it. So all of these ones over here on this side, which is basically the spellcasting side of the silver ticket story part of the story. And then I there's a few modifications in here, and then of course like the meta files are all there, but like there's no JSON to go with them, and so this was all like all a mess here. So I had to delete it. I had to restart it. I had to resave it, and then I had to reposition everything. So it was a big pain in the butt, but I finally got it, and now it pretty much resembles what I had previously. Okay, well have a great dinner, dude, and yeah, and come in anytime. Come in, pop out. It's cool. Whatever you want to do is cool. Yeah. See you later, dude. Okay, so bye. Um, yeah. If anybody's wondering, I look off to the side. It's because and it's to my right. It's because I have an actual. It's an actual cheap TV. It's a 1080p TV, but it's just a TV. But I'm using it as sort of a second monitor, and of course it's widescreen. And then my main monitor here is huge. Um, at least for my purposes, it's not really. It's what like a 32-inch, I think, and so not only is it big on the desk, but it's wide, and so that makes the other TV next to it's wide also. It's widescreen. It's 69. So that means that when I look, I actually have to turn my head quite a bit to see everything. Unless I found a way of like placing everything behind. The only reason I'm doing it like this is because the stand isn't going to move that far back. It's already almost like off of the desk, so it's a fairly large footprint. And I don't know. I could probably eventually get a stand, or I could mount it on the wall. If I mount it on the wall, that means that it's got to stay there, you know. But I guess I'm not really planning on moving this desk anytime soon. I guess so. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, I'm constantly turning my head. Um, to you, it would look to your left, but to my right. So that's why I keep on looking over there. I can honestly just turn around like this, and I'm looking at the secondary screen, and you can see my profile like that. Wait. I can't move very far because there's a small amount of area here if I move my hands out, But I can just see. I can't really point because there's not a lot of room to do that in. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. I don't know, screwing around, whatever. Okay, so now as far as the story goes, right? Uh, this is where he reads the magic words, and then we cut to John, right? And he is going into uh. Actually, that's funny. That's what? That's Cerulean. Right. Cerulean 5. The reason it's number 5 is because on the mailbox side, you have a whole series of stuff that goes on in our realm on Earth, or however you want to say it, that happens to John. Whereas the spellcasting side, most of it happens from Hubert's side, and then it goes to the thing here. So then opens. Um, Meanwhile, Dragon is seen in the I should say in the skies above the resort, above Enchanted and okay, let's do it like that. And let's go ahead and go to save room. Let's clear this out. Save room data. And that's good. Everything's good. Okay. If you notice the viewport's over here, it's because I moved everything to the side. And if you notice this over here, this represents the room's node, and this is where it positions, so that whenever I hit plus, um, it comes over here. And then the further down I go, if I want to create new rooms that pop where I'm working, all I have to do is select everything here. Well, let's not do that. Let's move this guy, and we're gonna actually move him down here somewhere. Okay, so now what I do is this, and then all I have to do uh, is kind of move it up, and that way I am right. Now let's go ahead and save room data, and then I can go ahead and actually save everything else. Right? Nothing is selected, which is fine. And that way, since I know I'm working down here, whenever I add a new room, it'll be over here. Now, obviously, if I was making a proper layout tool, it would add a new room wherever my mouse cursor was, right? For me, that would have to entail determining where in the viewport this is, where on the screen it is. I'd have to do some rigmarole in the plugin, and so I'd rather do this method. And then when I actually make the layout tool, I'll actually have the new rooms pop up wherever the cursor is, basically, or underneath the cursor. Maybe maybe it'll track with the cursor until you click to put it down. Maybe that's how I'll do it. And then I'll also be able to, like right now, I can't select the node by clicking inside the box. I have to actually click on the plus here, the anchor or whatever that is. And in the layout tool, I should be able to click anywhere in the box, and it will select the room. And I should be able to have a duplicate function, be able to duplicate. And I can duplicate here. I can do it like a copy and paste in here, and it will copy and paste everything. But let's do one more thing. Let's in fact, you know what I should do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'll restart it here in a second. And oh yeah, let's okay. Yeah, let's go in here. Let's go in here. Let's go in rooms. Let's take main menu T scene and delete it. See what happens. Delete. Delete. Now let's go ahead and restart. Phase one. We'll see if it balks at me. It shouldn't do anything because I'm not no longer using. Oh shoot! For a second there, I thought, what's going on? Where is everything? Well, it's yeah. I would really like to remove these lock icons, but I'm in the layout tool. I'm going to do something a little bit different too. Actually, I'm going to do it. It'll do it in the editor as well. But I'm going to create I'm going to use a Node 2D, and I'm going to be drawing all the lines and all the room connections via one single node. So I won't have a bunch of nodes here. I'll just have just the room nodes themselves and the door nodes. And here we go. Hold on. So, oh, oh, oh. Okay, he's Dragon. Okay. Boy, that's a lot just right there. And I got 93 more. I mean, this is only just scratches the surface here. It's only like I don't know, there's only two or three, and they expanded to like 15 of them or whatever it is. 20 of them, I guess. Anyways, okay, so instead of working on more on the story, like I do want to get the story done as soon as I can possibly do it, the branching stuff, because this is all phase one, and once I get it working, phase one will actually be done. But this is going to take quite a bit of time before phase one will be done. And even though I want to do it really fast, but instead today I wanted to focus on the scripting, and I wanted to now that I've got my backups, anytime I screw up, there's not going to be much of a screw up here. So let's just go ahead and actually let's go ahead and remove these commented stuff here. Let's remove that print. Okay, door name. Yeah, visual door. Okay. All right. So that's all right. Oh, so before I get to the rest of the I need to figure out what to do about this. See, these are the door settings, and I don't want to be the only access to doors should be through the room class. In other words, I should not be accessing the doors array directly. I should just be grabbing it from. See something here. Door for door in room doors. Yeah, I don't know of any other way of doing that without directly doing it. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and ask AI for. I mean, the usefulness of AI here is some of this programming stuff. So let's check out history. Um, Okay. It's now Wednesday. Well, actually, all right. I'm actually doing two conversations here. Let's go ahead and go to x.com/rock. I think is how you do it. Oh, no. I wanted to go to the actual Grok /i/Grok. Okay. And then go to my history and then this one. It's just because I had to do stuff to fix some stuff, and so I'm already um in this conversation here. Okay, so we got door into visual door. Uh, and it's working fine. But before I do anything else, I do still have one thing. The editor map script. Um, that is accessing the doors from the room directly. And I'm not sure how to handle what word am I looking for? Um, what am I looking for? Um, in the retrieving the data from the room class itself rather than through direct access to the doors array. Let me find the relevant code snippet to get before I take any of your suggestions. Okay, while it's trying to. Okay, so this is save room data for room. I shouldn't be doing anything with the doors. Door dot. Okay. All right. So it's this one. Integrated. It's working fine. Room dot doors. View door data from room class properly. Context editor. room class array. Without the snippet, here's how to approach. See, it's still telling me too much stuff that I don't need. Anyways, let's try this again. Okay, here's the relevant code. It's in editor GD and the save room data for room. Might be able to change it to save data for room or something, but I'll leave that right now because it's consistent with with another function or another thing. Function. Sure. This is to write out the door data for JSON files. I can probably leave this, but I'd like to not have to directly access this data. The only thing I can think to do is to create a few access functions. Although, maybe I could just do a get door by create a few access functions. Any suggestions? This issue directly access room.doors. Generate JSON data. You prefer to avoid direct access to room.doors, instead retrieve this data through room class itself, which is a great approach. Create access function, spawn on a code snippet, iterate to room doors, access to correct access should be no, it's not a you okay. No. That you're wrong and this is wrong. It's wrong. Uh I'll let it go, I guess. Give it a sec. You should remember that door class is I've created a door member in Visual Door, and I call it settings. So door is accessing the visual doors array in the visual room class. So for each door in visual doors, in room.doors, visual doors array, retrieve the data, i.e. door.settings.id or door.settings.destination. Oh, welcome back, Crasher. I'm just asking Grok about some help with, and I might have to just figure it out myself or whatever. So basically, the editor map does not access anything about the doors anymore. It uses VisualRoom. VisualRoom does all the stuff with the doors, and editor map shouldn't be doing anything. But in order to save this JSON data, I have to access the doors array, and right now it's doing them directly. So I'm trying to figure out a way of being able to access them without doing so directly. It's kind of complicated, but that's the basic gist of it. I have some time before I go to sleep, so I'll be here till then. That's cool. Uh, Stay as long as you want and go when you have to go. That's cool. Um, it's sort of weird though because this has to directly save to the JSON files. The editor map actually does the saving. Um, so that's why I need access to the door array and the door itself. Okay, so the door itself is these. Okay, so this is Visual Door, right? And let's close this stupid thing here. So, what's your favorite game? I got a couple of favorite games, and of course, they happen to be adventure games, obviously. Um, Originally, Space Quest 3, which is for IBM compatibles back way back in the day, late 80s. Maybe nine could be. I don't. No, it wasn't. It had to have been late 80s. Um. Anyway, Space Quest 3: The Pirates of Pestilon for DOS, the DOS version, because that's what I had. I had a 286 back in the day, and then later on it was Maniac Mansion 2: Day of the Tentacle from Lucasfilm, from LucasArts. It used to be called Lucasfilm Games, so occasionally I'll slip back and say Lucasfilm instead of LucasArts. But those were essentially my two favorite games, at least computer games of all time. Uh, if you want to go arcade, Galaga is probably my favorite. Um, Maybe Gauntlet, if you've ever played the original Gauntlet for arcade games. For console game, um, not really sure about console game. What my favorite console game is. Um, Obviously, I had Sonic the Hedgehog when I had my Sega Genesis, or what is called in Europe and around elsewhere around the world, they call it the Mega Drive. So maybe the Sonic games would be my favorite, I guess, for console. If you're talking later console, probably the Halo games. It's funny about the Halo games though. I didn't like the original Halo when it came out on the original Xbox back in the day. I played it, and I'd already played the original Unreal. Now you probably know what Unreal Tournament is, and you know Unreal the basically the multiplayer Unreal games. But the original one was a single player game called Unreal. Oh, not playing any game currently? Nah, not really. I haven't. The last thing I played was Halo 2 Anniversary from the Master Chief Collection, because that's the last game that I bought. I think it's the last game I bought. Anyways, through Steam, and I've since uh, come to Linux, and so I haven't actually tried any Linux games over here on Steam. It's got that it's got that cheat anti cheat thing So I don't know how well I can get Halo Master Chief Collection running um, on this operating system. Although I'm pretty sure that they do have it able to run here, so I should try it sometime. It's probably using wine or something, I guess. I'm not really 100% sure, but no. So as far as playing games right now, I haven't played any because I don't really have any time to play games. I have to just make this work on this game, and then I got other stuff that's regular real world obligation stuff. Cleaning, cooking, lawn work. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I have to do. Else, when I'm not on the computer. I want to get back into playing some of the other adventure games that I missed along the way. I've got a bunch. Um, I bought a bunch of games from GOG that I haven't played, and I have a lot of free games that I haven't played, and I don't know. I haven't really done much game playing since I've installed Linux here. So, huh, cool. Yeah. Um, I like shooters pretty well, I guess, or really mostly just Halo. Like I said, the original Unreal. It's like I said when I first played Halo Combat Evolved on the original Xbox. Uh, it to me it wasn't anything different than I played in Unreal, and it was kind of the same kind of stuff, and I was just like I was totally unimpressed because they had a lot of things where you had to like replay like certain levels again. There's a ton of backtracking, and to me it was just kind of boring, and I didn't like it. But back then um, I thought I would do the difficulty rating where it started at the easiest difficulty, and then once I was done with it, I graduate to the harder difficulties, and the easy difficulty isn't really that fun. And so I find out after you played it once on the easiest difficulty that you don't really care to play it again, right? Because it's not a significantly different experience. So then that later on, I got access to Halo 3 when I had my Xbox 360, and what I decided to go ahead and play it on Legendary because the 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 lowest difficulty it's just not that fun. It just I mean it isn't. It makes it too easy. When I played on Legendary, that is where Halo 3 became fun to me, and so um, that's where I'd start. I like start liking to play them because I play all of them. Halo 1 and Halo 2 on the original Xbox, and then Halo 3, and then Halo. Um, there's Reach, and there was the other one. I forget the name too. So I really like those games. And then I bought Master Chief Collection. I played the first one, and then I started the second one. The second one's kind of is pretty tough to get out of those first few levels, especially if it's on like legendary. It's really hard. So I'd stopped. I don't know. I stopped like last year or whatever. Even attempting to play it. So yeah. So right now I'm not playing any games. Right now I'm just making this one right here. Anywho, I should actually get back to work, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to be making a game, or I'm supposed to be making a game. Um, okay, so Visual Door has has a door. The door has a door member. I call it settings, and so I'm accessing all the room stuff through the Visual Room class, and so editor map should not be accessing the doors array here. Yeah, they're fun and hard. Yeah. Um. So right now I'm trying to figure out a way of accessing You know, I can duplicate the I could duplicate I could have like access function here that would access each of those for each of the door. I'd have to give it a door. Um, I'd have to give it some sort of identifier, like the ID or like the choice number or whatever. But I still need access to all the doors, and the way to do that is essentially through the Here, let's go here. Back here. This this is actually just kind of the most I don't know, efficient or proper way of doing it, I guess. But I still kind of don't like accessing it directly. I'd like there to be some. Maybe you could get. That's a thought. Uh, you could tell me the name again, and I'll see if I can pronounce it. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what you said your actual name was. So yeah, just go ahead and type it in there, and then I'll attempt to pronounce it with my inaccurate American English. So yeah, I don't remember what you said your actual name was. So so you have to retype it in there. And I'm a little bit it's a little bit weird with the chat thing because there's a little bit of a delay. Like when you see it, like when you see my response, and when you actually type in something. So I keep on looking at the chat, you know, every so often. And here, let me go back here. So type in your name here again into the chat, and then I will attempt to pronounce it. Door visual, accessing door. So thanks for the clarification. It's being code is correctly accessing. Yes, it's correctly accessing. You still want to avoid direct access. Retrieve data through the VisualRoom class for better encapsulations to share the snippet. Um, a brief solution to replace. Sorov. Is it that's about right? Sorov. Okay. And if you want me to call you Sorov, assuming that I'm doing it pretty good. Um, unless it's like sour like Saurov, it's like Sauron. I could call you Sauron. I don't know if you appreciate that though, but yeah, okay, that's cool. Um, so it's like Saurov or is it like Sorov? Okay, let's see what it says. Corrected understanding. How to get her. Doors array, get door data. Door data. Let's see. Create a function and return array if doors aren't stored in a var. Child knows use. No, they're not. No, they are stored in a var though. So it's actually an array of doors, even though if they are children. Okay, Crasher. I don't know. It's whatever. If you want me to actually say your first name, you want me to call you by that. That's fine. Sarov. Okay. Anyways, Crasher sounds cool. Anyways, name sounds like a name. I'm not saying your name doesn't sound cool. I'm just saying your name is a name, and Crasher is a nickname that sounds cool. Anyways, here, let's get back to this. Um, yeah, I might have to do that. Considerations. If you share VisualRoom.gd's door setup, I can confirm the getter. Commented choice, since VisualDoor.choice is commented out, ensure that save data doesn't rely on door.choice. Okay, yeah. Ensure visual door nodes are added to VisualRoom with settings. Visual door nodes are added to VisualRoom with settings. Initialized. Yeah. That's fine. If JSON format changes, adjust get door data dictionary keys. I might tell it to get, well, we're stringifying, so we're stringifying the actual data. We're putting it into JSON. I don't, anime is not my thing, so I haven't, I don't really watch anime, so I know it's a big deal. It's especially a big deal here in the U.S. for some strange reason. I mean, that's fine if you like it. I don't have a problem with somebody liking it. I never was that interested in anime, just because to me it's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird, basically. And the animation to me in most animated movies is not that great. It's usually kind of choppy. Um, the the backgrounds and stuff that to me, I don't know. There's a whole thing about anime that just I don't care for that much, I guess. So I like classic Western um, animation. Basically American animation. Classically, golden age animation, basically. So Looney Tunes, stuff from MGM like Tom and Jerry, and of course the classic Disney. And classic Disney, I mean anything before, probably before the '80s, I could say. The Disney's Nine Old Men worked up until the into the late '70s, most of them, and then Disney kind of changed their look and everything. Everything about Disney was changed when Eisner came in, and then Jeffrey Katzenberg took over the animation department, and so anything from about I should say from like 1988, which would be like Oliver and Company and on were the new guys completely. So anything classic. Yeah. I don't have a problem um as far as that goes. I do notice though there's a lot of anime that has a bunch of sex and violence, and I'm not, I don't watch any of that kind of stuff. I don't really have a problem with violence, but sexual content, uh I pretty much don't like anything that has sexual content in it, basically. Part of that's because I'm a Christian, but also part of it's because to me it's distracting. You know, if I see a naked woman in a movie, what am I thinking about the rest of the movie? I'm thinking about the naked woman. I'm not thinking about how good the story is or whatever. You know, so I don't even think the sex junk should be even in there. But even some of the violent stuff, I'm not really keen on the violence. A lot of the Japanese anime stuff has a lot of kind of like gory violence in it too. So I'm not opposed to violence per se. It's just some like egregious like some gory stuff. That I'm not into any of that stuff. So, not that uh, everything out of Japan it has sex and violence in it, because it doesn't. There's a lot of good stuff, like the Studio Ghibli stuff is all family friendly. So yeah, yeah. I don't know if you've seen the movie, the original Top Gun from 1986. I think it was 86. I think it was 86. Tom Cruise and stuff. Um, in here in the U.S. and I don't know about ratings in India or any other place, but it's PG rated here in the U.S. And PG is called parental guidance. It means it might have a little bit of adult stuff, a little innuendo sometimes, maybe some swearing, some light stuff that isn't really explicit that a kid couldn't come in maybe and actually buy a ticket to it by themselves. Couldn't see it by themselves. Um, and in the middle of Top Gun, there's this love scene. Essentially it's a sex scene, but it's cleaned up for PG rating. In other words, they don't really show anything, but you still you get the idea of what they're doing. And for years and years, because when you're a kid, like a kid, like I was probably 11 when Top Gun came out, and so I was a kid to teen. I didn't like Top Gun at all because of the essentially the sex scene. It's a PG rated sex scene, and for years, and then later on, when I started watching it later on, I realized how good of a movie it actually was with minus the scene in there. So if the scene wasn't in there, it'd be like super great. But I still like watching Top Gun now because I'm older, and not because I still like watching sex scenes or anything, but just mostly because um like I said, it is PG rated. In other words, they don't show you anything, so it's not like they're showing a lot of stuff in there. But um so I kind of got over that a little bit. In fact, with video, you can fast forward through parts. But so for the longest time, Top Gun to me was really I really didn't like it. But then later on, I really liked the movie. The movie's actually a really good movie. Top Gun is the original Top Gun, not Maverick from a few years ago. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Japan has a pretty rich history and stuff, so it'd be kind of cool to visit it. Maybe it might be a little too culture shock for me, but though, um, especially I'm a white guy, right? So I'm a white European descended American. I don't identify, quote unquote, identify with Europeans. I'm not European at all. I'm light skinned, right? You can tell I'm a white dude. So I don't know about necessarily visiting Japan. For my part, it would be the culture shock would be a little bit too weird maybe. If I had to visit a country, um, I might would visit Australia because they seem the most like the U.S. Maybe England, maybe not quite England, and maybe not quite England right now, but because of all the trouble that we've been having around the world. But so if I ever got to a chance maybe to visit Australia, I might would visit Australia. No, I mean they're lighter skin, but they have their own kind of skin tone and stuff that they're considered. I don't know the genetic difference, and it's just a genetic difference. It's not there's no I don't have a thing about I'm kind of brown, so I don't have any problem. Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not trying to tell you that I have a problem with somebody's skin color or anything like that. I just meant going from here to over to Japan would to me would be the way they think and the way they act and stuff is way different. So to me, what you call culture shock, right? So yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm racist. because I don't have a problem with that. In fact, the truth be told, there's not different races. We're not different races. You know, a dark skinned person or a brown skinned person like yourself, you know, being from India, or a brown skinned person from Mexico or whatever. Um, there's not different races. There's no such thing as a different race. It's just they're different genetic traits, you know. And you have a genetic trait that where your skin tends to be a different color, right? You have a little bit more melanin, and somebody of African descent. I say African descent because I don't like to say African American because you're not African American unless you're like a first generation American. Like you come in, you become a citizen, you come in right from Africa. You know, African American. That's a dumb comment. I'm not European American. I'm an American. Period and simple. I might say that this guy is a black guy because he's got a darker skin than mine. But there's no separate races. Yeah, that's kind of right. Yeah, they're kind of like that. Yeah, I'm sure the people by themselves, though, in general, they probably are okay as long as they're not being overrun. But but yeah. Anyways, I don't know why we went off on that topic. Yeah, Japan's pretty interesting though, as far as the fact that it's this tiny little island basically in all of Asia, and what's going on in their history and stuff. Pretty interesting. So yeah, yeah, I could see somebody wanting to visit there. I'm just saying personally, I think it'd be too much of a culture shock. It's not just the language; it's it's the food, and it's they're surrounded by water, so a lot of their food is basically seafood, right? Or is somehow surrounded seafood, and I'm not that big of a fan of seafood. I mean, I do like some fish. I like some white fish. I like some smoked salmon or some salmon or whatever. So I like fish okay and stuff. It's just it just a lot of the foods over there would be really really weird to me. You know. Yeah. Right. The um no, I don't know. What about the emojis? I haven't been pasting the emojis in here. In fact, sometimes it doesn't even show up here, and I'm looking at the restream chat. I'm not even looking at the I'm not even seeing the YouTube chat. I actually have to here. Hold on a second here. Uh, no, yeah, I'm not even doing them in here. Haven't tried anything from the ocean ever. Well, yeah, you might be in for a shock. It might be good, and then again, you might taste. Oh, I see I see the emojis now that I have the YouTube chat up, but I'm gonna go back to the restream chat just in case somebody uh just in case somebody from Rumble actually comes in and chats. Occasionally, I'll have like one or two like viewers, I guess phantom viewers or something. I don't know, and but nobody ever chats in there, so I don't know if anybody's actually in there or if it's just or whatever. Okay, okay. I need to stop chatting and get back to work because I'm still trying to make this game here. Okay, so let me go back to Grok here. Um, Doors definition, little rooms, sure. Visual room nodes are added to visual room setting. Okay, visual door nodes are added with settings initialized. Yeah. Well, they are, I think. Yeah, there's a person with me. It shows two people. Well, I mean, technically, I'm actually viewing my own stream. I mean, I'm not looking at it right now. This is restream here, and then you can only see part because I have the chat part over here on my other monitor. So this is actually that's why it's cut off here. But um in here the YouTube. Anyways, I have the YouTube chat up here that I monitor sometimes. So sometimes I'll listen to it to make sure that I can hear myself in there, and which I can right now. Obviously, you're talking to me. That means the audio is going through. So yeah, it should show at least two people in here, and then it's showing two people here in Rumble, and I assume one of them is me, but the one is also there's somebody else in there that's also one, but they might be not logged in or something, or if I guess if you don't type anything in there, then I wouldn't know anybody who's in the Rumble. But I at least have at least the one person in Rumble that's somehow seems to be lurking. I guess that's what they're doing. I'm not even sure, but. Because I don't know really how they count how many viewers in there. You know, sometimes I think it counts me as a single viewer, and sometimes I don't think it shows up. So right now I'm restreaming. It says four, so that means two in one and two in the other. Well, you and me. Rumble is a site like YouTube. It's a video site, and so I'm actually streaming to there as well. Here, this is here. Let's open Rumble in a. Here. Let me pull this out over here real quick. Um. And right now I'm not seeing your chat, so because I'm in this window here. And that's Fox. I don't know. That's Russell Brand, I guess. Russell Brand's channel. But see, this is a lot like YouTube here. See. And it seems like they're dominated by lives right now, I guess. My feed? What's on my feed? I don't really have much on my feed because the only channel I'm subscribed to in here is Redot, which is funny. For you. Let's see, for you here. Anyways, their videos. It's a video site like YouTube is. Kind of competing with YouTube. Yeah, yeah. If you're looking here just a while ago here, and I'm gonna move this back over to where the chat is off the screen so I can see the chat. Anyways, you go to rumble.com, you can see what they have. It's an alternative to YouTube. Because YouTube was censoring people for censoring conservatives mostly. And so Rumble popped up and as an alternative to not censor people for their political views. Anyways, let's see here. It's an array of visual doors. Let's see. We go back here. Let's go to VisualRoom, and we'll go up here to take out this engine as editor hint thing. Set that store specs. it's also non-type. Basically, I've used Grok to help me coding some of this stuff. Some of it on the grok.com website. But when I was typing everything, when I was making everything typed, I would get some errors because I get some errors, and I don't even remember exactly why, but it was expecting something that it kept complaining about. So Brock told me to remove the actual types, but this is the doors array. See, it's untyped. And I usually append a door to it. I also have the doors as children, but using an array to access it easier, so I don't have to access the node directly. Okay, let's see if it gets with that. You better be hydrated. I gotta drink some too. Give me a minute. I use ChatGPT for my studies a lot. It's better at teaching me than my teacher at school. Yeah, uh, yeah, I can see how that can work. It can also get things wrong too, though. Um, so you have to always make sure and kind of double check your work to make sure that it's not telling you something that isn't true. Let's see about the doors array. I really appreciate explaining and typed array. You append visual door nodes for easier access. I also added children in the VisualRoom. Super helpful to know the context about using Grok, including Grok, to assist coding and how you moved away from typed arrays due to errors, type mismatch, or null reference issues. Yeah, I think it was a null reference thing. Yeah, it would do that, and so launch your goal of updating. Okay. I'll keep this brief. Yeah, it says it keeps it brief, and then it gives me this long, drawn out analysis, even for a brief thing. And so that's one thing that's annoying to me about the AIs. The AIs just they give you too much, and I don't mean too much actual useful information, but too much response. It'll often repeat itself, and it'll say, "Oh, well, this works," and blah 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 blah, and then it just does this whole long thing. That's why always have to constantly tell it to keep it brief or keep it short and concise, because otherwise it won't do that. It'll do like this here. Um, Untyped, our nodes are appended to doors and added as children into VisualRoom. Untyped due to to errors. Okay, that's fine. Correctly access door settings since doors holds visual door nodes. Needs to use a VisualRoom access function instead of room.doors. Add a getter, contact solution, getter for untyped doors. Door data. If door is visual door and door settings, append. Door data append. So a dictionary. For door and doors, if door is visual door and door settings exist, door data dot append. Okay. It's appending an object with the just the data. Interesting. Update save room data doors with room dot get door data. In room, okay. Door.id, door.choice, door.destination. Oh yeah, I guess that would be a good way to do that. VisualRoom manage access. Returns ID, choice, and destination. That's fine. Transition support works with visual door settings and your commented out choice. Commented out choice. See, it keeps on popping that up. Uh, it is Wednesday and it is 1:16 p.m. So it's the afternoon of Wednesday already. So we're already yeah, Wednesday afternoon. Implementation steps. Okay. Get door data. I'm going to go ahead and copy this function over. And we are going to go over to here and we are going to go. In fact, I'm going to put this right underneath it. Okay. I'm going to call it something different though. I like set door specs. Set equals set door specs. Interesting. Oh, because I see. Oh, let's do it like okay. Get door data. I guess I call it that. But I'm gonna maybe I'll leave it. I guess I'll just leave it like it is. I guess. No one says any. Yeah, probably you do. Yep. Probably eight and a half hours before I do. So when we get to that point, you will get to New York before I do. Okay, get door data. ID choice, destination. Okay, why don't I just go ahead and use it then? Let's go back up to editor map. And let's go ahead and for door in room doors. Room.get door data. Get door data. And then let's just I think it's got to be, yeah, parentheses because it's a function. Nations. Oh, yes. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and reload save scene. Okay. Let me, I'm going to do something else here. let's rename that. I like doing Pascal case, which is basically caps for everything, especially functions. And we'll go back over here to editor map. We'll call it get your data. That OS. Reload save scene. Okay, that's fine. Now here is the thing, and we'll see if it like removes stuff. It shouldn't remove anything though, because everything should be working. So if I hit save door data, it shouldn't do any different. Everything should be there. Well, I wonder if I just screwed up. I mean, I got it back. I got it in backup now. I got the we're in rooms, right? Let's see. So if I celebrate my New Year and then come to your country, then I can celebrate it 2 times a year. Yeah, I guess. I mean, the only way you could do that is by flying, and I have no clue how long it takes to fly to the U.S. from India. It might be quick because you're on what Pacific side. I mean, you might be able to do that. It depends on whether you can reach the U.S. in less than 8.5 hours or 8.5 hours. Yeah. Ah, my doors are gone. So all my doors are gone because this isn't working correctly. So I have to go into here. Let's go back up here. The room's back up. Select Control A. Except for that. No. Control. There we go. Copy. Let's go back into here. Paste. Replace. Reload save scene. All the doors are back, which is fine. Except for now everything looks all wonky now. VisualRoom 26. Okay, let's go to room. Let's go into script. Let's go into VisualRoom. Almost time for my break now. No, don't worry about it. You don't sound stupid. But yeah, you could celebrate 2 times a year if yeah, if you're able to fly to the US. And yeah, I wonder how long it takes to fly from it was that's not what I meant to do. Where is hold on. Um how long does it take to fly from India to the US? Just see what kind of generic. Yeah. Okay, so basically, when I wrote my story, I wrote all the story. So I wrote all of the events in there, and then I grouped them, and then I actually used I used Grok, maybe ChatGPT in that time. I'm not sure if I used either if I used ChatGPT as well for that, but I had it help me write some Python code that would actually go and save it as individual files. So so like half of the stuff is because of Grok, basically. Not that I couldn't eventually find out how to do it on my own. It's just I think I did this a lot quicker. Yeah, yeah. It's not. I didn't do anything like special. Like I said, I used Grok to help me do the thing where it saves all the files individually. I just wrote. It's like writing, so like you can write. Maybe you can't write. I don't know, but if you're a writer, if you're somebody that can write stories or write stuff, then you write a bunch of stuff down, and then what you do is you group them. I grouped them into locations. In fact, I had Grok help me do that too a little bit, and then I had all of the stuff in one file. Then I had it create a file that had all the JSON objects, and then I had it create a script in Python that would take it and divide it into individual JSON files. Hey Rook, welcome to the stream. Crasher Hole there is from India, so he's 8.5 hours. You're 5 hours ahead of me, and here in the eastern U.S. is 1:26 p.m. 1:27 p.m. now. So, Crasher, to answer your question, you probably wouldn't be able to fly to the U.S. from India because it takes approximately 17 hours and 21 minutes. That exceeds the actual the time difference. So, I mean, if you were physically capable of getting here before 8.5 hours, then you could celebrate New Year's twice. Anyways, let me get back to this. Returns array dictionary door data. Door data is an array. Okay, I'm getting there. Array dictionary. Really, it just should just return an array, not array dictionary. I don't get that. My guess is that it should be returning an array. Should be only returning an array. And actually, I could probably just take dictionary out of there. It's the error here. Oh, expected type. I see. I guess it's I guess it'd be door, wouldn't it? No? I don't know. Is it this isn't technically a dictionary either, though this object isn't. Huh. Return array, a type array expected indicates to get door data functions returning a plain array instead of a typed array as specified in its return type. I guess um type declaration mismatch. That's not a dictionary, is it? It's getting late. It's 11 now. I'm surprised why my mother haven't schooled me for using phone late at night. I think she's busy doing something. Yep. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, you probably should be going to bed. Uh, I mean, you can see me. You can see my face. I look like I've been missing sleep. So you probably shouldn't miss sleep. It's probably not a good idea. So yeah, it was good to have you here, and you can pop in whenever I'm online. So obviously, I mean, you're welcome anytime. Not that you couldn't, anyways. I have it there, and it's on YouTube, and anybody can come in. So I'm just saying. So yeah, if you're going to bed, then good night, and I'll see you later. Talk to you later. Whatever. I won't see you later. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Um. Okay. Yeah. So if I take this out, if I take this out, that. Okay. Let's clear this. Let's control it. Save. Let's. I'm gonna clear this again. I'm gonna reload. Save scene. Okay, that's cool. Then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go ahead and save room data. Okay, looks like no errors this time. This is just too weird. Why? Wait a second. Let's see here. That's fine. That's fine. Why is this all the way up here though? What's what's going on here? Somehow we got two extra rooms here that we're not supposed to have. Cerulli 11 and 12, which is what Form 5 actually became. That is so weird. So what if I remove 11? And here I remove 12. Why doesn't it let me remove 12? Wait a second. What's going on here? Why is it not? What? I don't know. It's acting weird on me. Delete that. Reload save scene. hopefully everything's working here because it's yeah, thanks. Catch you later. If you're not already gone. Let's see here. Sign parcel ticket. I go wait for John to respond. Uh, uh okay. I guess I guess everything is good here. Uh, all the metas are here. Meta. Okay. Let's select all. I can't do it like that. Okay. Play. Copy. Go back in here. Um, select all. No. Right. Paste. Wait. That's not what I wanted to do. 142 items. Wait, 142? Why is there 142? How many is there? 26 items. Oh. No, I see. 115. Oh, okay. 140. I see. 142 items. What if I hit paste? Replace. Okay, everything should be... So hopefully this is the same now. Just go in here. Main menu, scene. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there. Um, oh, I see. I have to readjust all of these now, I think. All right, everything there should be fine, I think. Oh, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these here. Doors, Enchanted Lands 1, Choice 1, everything's hunky-dory, inbound, main menu, Home 14, inbound, Hebrew Home 13, door to Cerulean 4. Okay, that's fine. Okay, everything is looking fine now, I believe. Okay. Let's go back to the script. Let's go back to the editor map. Okay, that's good. Okay, I just didn't want I just didn't want to access door data directly, so now I'm just grabbing it. In fact, it's just grabbing just those three, which is just the door data itself, which is all I actually need in here. So getting the door data means getting the door data, and okay. And now it's time for break, past time for break. So I guess that means I'll return back at whatever 2:15 or whatever it is. And I'm gonna go on my break right now. So thanks to Crash a Hole or Sarov. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that Sorab or Sarab. Uh, Otherwise known as Crash a Hole. And thanks Rook for popping in. And I'll catch you on the other side of the break if you're still here. Okay, I am back, backity back, and that seems to be working okay. Like I guess it's supposed to. And here, let's go ahead. Just like what? Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up here. There we go. Okay. So now that we got that going through VisualRoom, next thing we want to do is okay. Oh, I'm sleepy now. Where is set ID and set label? Okay, set description. Okay. That should be obviously to set it for a description. That the description label. That ID. Okay. Rate or visuals. Set label. I'm just grouping the set functions. Update name label. Okay, load data from JSON is its own thing. So this is going to be a little bit more involved. I'm going to do my latest. Open a new tab. A copy. Control A. No. Paste. Replace. Making sure I'm really up to date. Room settings, room config. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and say, okay, room, is room a resource? No, I haven't even done that yet. I didn't have to do anything here though, right? Just call it resource. Everything looks hunky dory. Okay. This should be the same way, honestly. So, okay, let's see something here. Set ID. Set description. Okay. Let's go back to VisualRoom. Okay, let's go. Actually, let's go to Visual Door here. I need to export door, right? Room.settings.id room.config.id. I wonder. Okay, I wonder if it'd be better if I named the. Sorry. Well, it would say config, right? I should call it settings also, right? X at export bar um, settings on room. So okay. This is going to be a little bit more tricky because I actually have these getters and setters connected to it, whereas in Dora I didn't really have hardly anything in there. ID equals new ID. Label string equals new room. Set equals set label. Yep, I lost it. Uh, I was awake now. I'm not exactly awake now. Um, okay, so what does this do? It splits in tokens, so it splits the ID. Uh, it goes through each token, then it creates a new label. Right. So whenever you set the ID, it sets the new label. Okay, let's think about this for a second. This might have to do some duplicates, but I'm not sure. ID equals new ID. Okay, that's nothing new, right? Because I wish the TV wasn't so loud. ID, set ID, set label. Here's an interesting case of actually having to create a duplicate. Um, give me a few moments. I'm having a problem because I'm not really sure how to handle this deal where there's extra stuff to be done. When you update the name label, it visually updates the label so you can actually see it in there and change. Huh. I do still have the mic on. It's just I don't know, my brain's not working now. After after a couple of minutes now, or after I don't know, two something, I'm just my brain says, "Okay, you're done for today." I want to transition to not having an ID here in in the visual room to actually use the settings ID for the ID. Okay, so let's see. What's the name of the set ID? Okay, so set ID set equals set ID. It makes it a property, so you can say ID equals. I won't be overwriting everything. That's the point, isn't it? Because it's not descendant. So settings is a member variable. All right. Okay, sort of a new query. Uh, it'll probably just say a bunch of crap though. Um, do settings ID equals. Hmm. Now I'm going to be adding a settings member to Visual Room, which will be the room type. Please acknowledge. Okay. Okay. Desktop. There we go. Okay. So it's the same deal as the door. The room is extends resource. All right, yes, um uh number variable settings be of class door classroom. Not sure how I want to say this either. Eventually, I want Visual Room to use uh, oh, that's weird. I had all that steam and then it suddenly dropped out and my mind just went. All right, may not be able to do anymore today. Eventually, I want Visual Room to use room properties. I have a setter for ID, which actually calls some visual functions. Like updating name label. Uh, Oh, oh, that's right. I wanted to up. I wanted to. I wanted to actually rename the right text to see if um basically I want VisualRoom to use room properties. Let's see. This will actually update the panel name. So it changes the time as you modify the ID field. Problem here is now I will be accessing the as you modify the ID. Remember, modify its ID. Not really sure how to so how do I get it to the current ID field in VisualRoom darn it, I had it and now it's gone. That stupid TV is not helping a bit. Let me go get something. I'll be right back. I didn't really realize it was after 3, so it's almost time for me to be done here. Okay. Had to get up, get me some coffee or whatever. I need to get juices going again because my brain just didn't want to work. I suppose it's still the sleep thing, but I wasn't like that way earlier. So, in Visual Room, ID uses a setter, which isn't much of a problem, except it does access panel and the name label. Now the settings member is a member, not it's not extending. Visual Room is not extending room. So what's the best way to go about calling changing settings member is a member. Visual Room is not does not extend room. Does not extend room. Changing panels visual name and accessing the ID from the class. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. So if it was a matter of me extending the room class, then I would just simply call super or whatever. But it doesn't do that, so I suppose I might have to make a complete access function because it's going to be modifying the panel, not just. Your question makes sense. VisualRoom currently uses a setter for its ID property that updates the panel and name label will display the room's name visually. But since VisualRoom doesn't extend room and you're not adding a settings room member, you want to know the best way to update the panel's visual name using data from settings and access the ID from the room class directly, likely stored in settings. I'll address this consensus with every junior contact. Okay. Current setup. Team stores array. I don't. It doesn't really matter about the room because we're not doing the room right this or the door right this second. Okay. Which it does automatically. add settings. Get to our data. Accessing ID, settings the ID provides the room's ID, replacing the direct ID property. The set settings function updates name label text with settings ID, preserving visual behavior. Shows ID and other room properties in the inspector. Transition safety doesn't break doors. Settings fall out. Say room data confirm. Export to expose them in settings. Current code. Confirm ID and other properties. Want to help. It's a solid move. Sounds like thunder. Shoot, we may not get to. Might have to be driving in the rain. Dad doesn't like driving in the rain. Um. Might be almost easier to do a set and get for each of the settings I need to set and get. Because if I do that, then I can just directly call it from settings. I know it doesn't duplicate data per se, but it does mean I have to write an access function. See, yeah, that was the whole thing before. But it kind of makes it redundant, right? Writing access functions because I could have exposed. Uh oh. I don't know. Maybe I should call it a day here. Um, hmm, select all, copy current rooms gd script current visual room.gd script. We'll let it chill on that first for a minute or two. Then maybe we'll see if I should quit. Room. I know what it does. Issue. ID label description and visual room duplicate room's properties. So ID updates name label, but ID should come from right. Access the room's ID via settings. Keep room right. That's fine. Inbound rooms. I guess yeah. I guess I could do that for inbound rooms too, because inbound rooms, indoor specs, and all that. This, those are simply not actual visual either. They're just data. Settings. New settings, colon room. Okay. I guess I need to quit for today though. So I have to say thanks for stopping by. I am gonna do my thing real quick, so let me do that. Start recording. Today is Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, and today all I did was update. Let's go back. I updated. Let's go to editor map. I updated this to instead of accessing uh, the doors array directly from the room, I have a thing that gets door data that actually only returns the door data for ID choice and destination, which is currently what's indoors, and then I iterate through that. And that's pretty much all I got done today. I had some rigmarole, and I had to go through a few things, and then I was trying to work on how to um, VisualRoom, how to how to set all this stuff up, because this actually updates the visible label. So you type it in and it actually updates it, and it also updates it updates the name label, but it also updates the actual label, which is the actual name of it. So I still have to figure out how to do that, and I added the settings for room that I'm gonna be using here in the future. So that's about it. Okay, that'll do me for today. I gotta go and do something. It's about ready to rain and stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the morrow. Thank you for watching.